I didn't sound like you.
I got one.
Welcome to Random, Rambunctious, Rambling.
Random.
You just had to throw that iCarly reference in there.
Today we have Adam, we have Hannah, we have Heather,
Why am I last?
and then we have me. And Heather doesn't know.
Me is Seth, by the way.
Me is Seth, by the way. And a few topics we're going to discuss today is the mystery of Hannah's car.
Assholes.
So,
That's all I have to say.
Hannah, I'd like to hear your story of what happened. Do not do that.
Someone hit my car in the parking lot of my apartment and didn't leave a note. That's it.
You framed that like a Scooby-Doo.
That's how it feels.
Come on,
It still doesn't feel real.
And then a group of adults, us, got drunk and then went downstairs to investigate.
And barely found anything.
We didn't find anything.
No, we found the.
Oh, yeah.
You found the culprit.
Found him. We're
So,
guessing.
what ended up happening is, so Hannah has a black car, right? And you do.
Dark blue.
It's basically.
There's no
It's black.
difference.
Yeah, I could
It looks
never.
exactly the same.
I've never known that it's blue.
What color is your tint?
On my windows?
Yeah.
What else?
Black.
Is it dark blue or black?
Black.
Okay. I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The point is, when we went down there, we found out that her black car had this bump in the back of it. She was showing us. And the reason why she was suspicious is because there's white paint on the back of it that scraped it. And not only scraped it, concaved the corner.
Okay, but let's also be clear. I was also just suspicious because someone hit my car and there's a giant dent in it. It's more than just paint on the car.
yeah, there's a giant dent. I meant
There was a tiny bit of white, but also this hole, I guess.
this giant concave hole. But, sorry, that's a bit of a little detail I left out.
That's pretty funny.
But we went around to each car to try to figure it out. And apparently, this is an amazing time for white cars because every single one of them has damage. In the entire parking lot, every single one of them has hit someone in the last year, probably. So she couldn't figure it out. So Detective Drunk Seth came down there with his gang.
Who are all also drunk.
Also drunk.
And waiting on a pizza delivery.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
So
Hungry drunks.
we are very, very hungry at this point. So when we go downstairs and stumble downstairs, my bad, and we go into the parking lot. You see? I went into the parking lot. We were looking at all the white cars, right? And there was a certain car parked a little bit further away than the rest that has this damage on it. But Hannah was like, there's no way that this is the car because the damage goes too low. But when we looked at it further, we realized that a piece of paneling on the front of their car had to have snapped forward and then slid across of it, her car, and snapped back into place.
And also, there was more damage to my car than I thought.
Yeah.
I'd like to know while this was going on, the pizza had arrived and one member of the Scooby Gang just kind of fucked off.
So when we figured it out,
That is true.
we were walking into the middle. And we're like, And we went back and we found out there was an extra piece of damage to her car. And she's like, no! And then as soon as we figured that out, somebody pulled up in a white car and like, oh, you think it's them? You think it's them? It's our pizza. And she's walking towards the door and I drunkenly yell, you the pizza? You got the pizza? And she's like, yeah, I got the pizza. I'm like, is it my pizza? She's like, I don't know.
And you scared the shit out of this delivery driver. Like, she's just ordering for DoorDash and she's going to random places. We're an apartment in the middle of fucking nowhere. And she just pulls in and somebody's already harassing her out the door.
And
But you got pizza!
Not near the safest part of town. Like, it's pretty safe, but, like, it's
We're
kind
in
of a
the middle.
little close
Yeah.
to, like, a little dangerous.
So, like, when obviously I haven't shaved my face or my head, or not shaved my head. I haven't, just listen, I haven't shaved my face or cut my hair in about, like, 3 or 4 weeks. And me, when I don't do that, or about 2 or 3 weeks, point is, I have a beard right now. My hair is really messed up looking and just odd. So, she saw a drunk, stumbly man with a beard and just messed up hair going, you got pizza?
The scariest, most homeless looking man in this party.
Dude, I'm wearing like shorts and like a t-shirt. My socks don't
Shorts
match.
and a t-shirt, normal clothing.
No. Look, I'm wearing
At
like
least you were wearing clothes.
I'm
That's
wearing,
all that matters.
I'm wearing all black, but like it's all spandex almost. And I'm wearing 2 different color socks and just boots that have nothing to do with the rest of the outfit. And I'm yelling pizza at this woman.
For a second, I forgot we put shoes on, and I thought maybe we were just parading around.
I would be surprised if he was just wearing socks.
I kind of didn't want to put shoes on.
I didn't either.
We could have.
We could have
didn't we?
tiptoed.
What does that have to do with anything?
Our socks.
That's so out of
No
nowhere.
one would hear us.
Yeah, no one would hear us.
Wouldn't know.
Dude, all they would hear is the piano.
Okay, it's not like you're standing in the middle of the parking lot yelling for pizza.
We
Like,
literally.
I did.
And also yelling, do you think it was this car?
Dude,
get a picture,
This
Hannah.
car has a dent too. I have pictures of all their license plates.
dude, a girl walked out and kept staring at us, and Heather kept trying to inform Hannah of this, but Hannah was not listening. So Hannah kept going on.
She said to your right. I said, okay, but to be fair, we were facing different directions, so there was no one to my right.
And Hannah was like, oh, my car, though. Like, this guy's like, Heather's just like, shut up. And she's like, my car.
I was a woman, and you wouldn't look at her no matter what I said.
You said, look to your right. And there was no one
You
there.
looked a fraction of a millimeter to the right, and then continued
She
talking.
was to my left.
Something that
to
no one
your
can see.
right.
She's on her phone calling the police in the
Literally, like,
background.
these drunk, not teenagers.
Nearly.
I watched them. They harassed a pizza guy. They're currently looking at cars. I don't
It was
know
a
why.
pizza woman.
It was a pizza woman.
It's weird. They're only white cars, though. They have a black car, and they're, like, talking shit about all these white cars.
I think they're reverse racist somehow.
Of cars only.
Cars. Yeah.
I do feel like that. There wasn't as much white cars in the parking lot until I got hit by one.
It's true.
It felt like a nightmare, like where I just woke up and I got hit by a white car, and every single car in the parking lot was white, including mine.
Come on, gang.
Like, that's what it felt like.
The person who hit you bought 5 more white cars, so they didn't know.
Oh.
See what he
And
owes
fucked
them.
him up, too.
Yeah.
This is the worst part about this entire situation. So Hannah lives in an apartment complex, right? That is private property. So private property usually has cameras up, and you can also not call the cops on something that happened on private property. So she tried calling the cops. Now I don't know the exact extent.
I called asking, I said it's not an emergency. Emergency. I just needed a police officer to come out and do a report. You know, basic shit. This date, this time, noticed her car's fucked up and no one's around.
Yeah.
Like, just basic stuff. They wouldn't, obviously, because it's private property, which I wouldn't know. I mean, I know what to do when you get hit in a car accident, but, like, I was like, what do you do when you get in a car accident and no one's there?
Like, literally, yeah, they didn't even leave a note. And then what happened then is she was like, oh, it's okay, there's cameras in this apartment complex. There's 2 people that work at this entire complex. Entire thing. One is the owner, and the other is a maintenance man.
Ooh, go Paul.
The maintenance man, Paul, can't do anything for her.
He is my best friend, though.
But all he can do is say this. Oh, by the way, the owner is out of town with no cell service, and all of the recordings delete after 24 hours.
I will
48
say,
hours.
he did give me his cell phone number, and then later in the day called me and looked around the parking lot, also looking at white cars, and was like, hey, there's a white car parked in the front.
Pretty
Looks like it might have
important
hit
note
you.
here. We are currently about an hour after these events have taken place,
Yeah.
and everyone is still drunk
Yeah.
for the most part. I think I can't speak
Currently?
for everyone. Yeah,
I'm drunk.
I'm
Yeah,
currently.
for
Wait,
sure.
so that girl that came out looking all angry, she saw that dude walking around with her phone. You know, the white car here. She thinks he's a part of our gang.
He is.
We're against white cars. So she's like, oh my god, it's happening again.
Listen, he didn't even need to know my name. He knew what number to call. He was like, yep, this is Hannah, this is her room number, I know her.
And Adam should look into that.
You know, since
I absolutely
since
will,
it's
too.
a
I
week
wanna-
after 48 hours, I think you should go hit every white car, and then no one will know it was
Okay,
you.
my
Well,
theory is this white car hit every
Yeah,
other
that's
white
how
car.
Well, you had
Except
already
for the one single white car that was too nice to hit.
Maybe.
you had already brought up the fact that you wanted to put notes on every single
I
white
do.
car.
I
inside
should
of
just
the-
put notes on every single car and be like, hey, next time leave a note. It just kind of encouraged
You want-
And then if you get a note back from one person, how are you going to track that down?
I really won't need to. I think the point that I really need to get across to this person is just leave a fucking note.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even that bad of damage where I
She's
would have
just-
contacted
dude,
their insurance company.
She will go to the end of the world to track this dude down, whoever it was, and be like, just say you're sorry.
And I just like the idea of her putting it on 7 or 8 separate cars.
Dude, it's like,
and then they all return a note, and then all
Okay.
like 7 of them say like it
Only-
wasn't me, and then one of them says I'm so sorry.
Only one car would likely respond and be able to put it on my car because they know what car they're talking about. Because half the cars here are fucked up. So like, who would be like, yep, you know what? It's that one.
everybody gets a sticker, like a piece of note on their car. It's like, this one? I hit this one. It's like
Maybe
a
I'll
middle...
do like a secret like code or like a number on the back to know which car I
Should
placed it
yeah,
on.
get like
Yeah.
invisible ink or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like a middle school thing. It's like, you know, when like you pass the notes, it's like, do you like me? It's like, did you hit me? Smiley face. I did.
yes or no.
Did you hit me? Check yes, check no.
I did, winky face.
Catch me,
So,
bitch.
and then I'm gonna fucking sue you.
Man, and her car was nice.
It was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
It was the first car I ever bought. 2016 Chevy Cruze.
Could've
Not
been.
that it's like a nice.
It's a nice car.
She
It's
bought it
a
in the
decent
hood.
car
It's
for
an amazing
someone.
car.
I bought it in the hood.
Well, it's tinted.
I didn't buy it in the hood.
Okay, it's a hood car, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The tinted windows make it look a little sketchy.
I have a friend
But
who
to be
literally
fair,
lives like near the hood, like in more dangerous parts.
Yeah.
And he tinted his windows on purpose because he got sick of like when he went through, people would stare at him.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
why-
strategic maneuver.
Yeah.
that's why it was
You
tinted.
know what
The
you're
girl
doing.
I bought it off she drove to Farmington.
She drooped.
She drove. I'm drunk. Who knows English when I'm sober, and I'm also drunk. So.
Oh,
But she
Unbegge
drove.
with Ciebie.
Shut up.
What?
That's Polish.
Oh,
Ich bin Mutter. That's German.
Hola.
That's Spanish.
Gas.
Oui, oui.
Merci. That's French.
I already did French.
Fuck you. That's abuse.
Wow.
So to be fair, Hannah, your tinted car from the hood
Okay.
is a rival person who used to fight with that person who had that car originally that was tinted.
It was a
Like he has
skinny.
PTSD.
It was a
Came back.
skinny, rich white girl. I'm pretty sure she didn't do any harm to anyone. And she lived an hour away.
Maybe
You don't know.
you're
Maybe she had a double
competition
life.
for her.
Her house was like triple the size of my house. And she was getting a new car because her dog that she was going to buy she wanted more space for him. That was the only reason.
I wish
she
I
wanted
could
a
be
bigger car for a
rich
bigger
enough
dog.
to do that.
So annoying.
Like, oh, this expensive ass animal I'm about to buy. Man, I want more space for it. Let me just go out and buy.
was
a car. I wish
literally-
I could have that convenience.
That was her reason. She was like, I want a big dog. Guess I'll have to get a bigger car.
Man,
Yeah. Don't even think about the price range.
Literally.
Just like, I'll buy a second
Yeah.
one.
I wish I could have that convenience.
I would just have to sell the dog.
Lucky, you'd have to eat it.
To maintain the first
Yeah,
car.
his name
like,
was Lucky.
Did you guys miss my thing? Because he wasn't lucky in my story. I said you were lucky.
I sold him. What did
I
you
would
do
have to
him?
eat him
Why?
Why
He
would you
couldn't afford
eat
food.
them?
because that's a waste of meat right there.
If you sell him for like $200, that's 200 cans.
What am I supposed to buy?
You could sell them for a
Another
lot.
Okay,
dog?
sell your car or eat your dog. Which are you doing?
Depends on the breed. What breed is it?
Wait, if it's
you-
big enough to ride, is it big enough to ride?
The dog
you
or
get
the
a dog
car?
big enough?
Oh, dude, if I got a dog big enough to ride, I would need my car.
Don't
Okay.
ride your dogs.
I think that's animal beast.
Speak-
And
oh,
so is
I have
eating
a
your dog.
saddle.
I think eating your dog is animal abuse. So
Okay,
remember,
I don't-
kids,
I don't think
It's-
eating it's abuse. I think killing it's abuse. And then eating
How
it's fine. 'cause
would
it's
you
already
eat it
dead.
alive?
that's recycling.
No.
That's also abuse.
You've gone
kill it.
off the rails.
I think that's like serial killer type shit right there. That's not abuse.
I feel like it's just like
Yeah.
Eating a dog?
That's not abuse.
that
That
is
is
that's
just
like that was
slightly,
like
yeah.
the early phases of Jeffrey Dahmer's like issues was just
Yeah,
like killing
he probably
animals.
ate
Did you know that a person actually escaped from him and ended up at a police station, and that guy was on drugs because Jeffrey drugged him.
Yes.
He showed up at the police station and
That's
said,
right.
"Oh, that's my friend. I'll take him home."
Okay.
What a just
What?
bench warmer.
But could you imagine like knowing like a serial killer? Keep seeing TikToks where it's like my grandma like knew Jeffrey Dahmer in high school or like other serial killers.
You would
Or,
like-
I almost dated him. I'm like,
That's crazy.
You
That's
would
scary.
you would love I think you'd like this podcast called Making a Murderer.
I
They're not
feel
making a murder. That's a Netflix thing. My
But-
favorite murder. What they do is it's two girls who have
Heard of
people
that,
like so they either talk about big ones or they'll have people email them about local murderers in their town and like they'll tell stories and like some of them are insane. Like there was this one where this girl talked about how her uncle knew this person or something. Like she used to get freaked out every time she went to her uncle's house and she didn't know why because their neighbors were creepy. She knew why, but she didn't know why she was freaked out by them.
Yeah.
So then they find out later that these guys had like people like skinned in their basement, just like hanging from like hooks.
yummy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like, watch it. I don't know if
That's a
that.
recommendation.
He said watch it.
I don't know if that one's from My Favorite Murder or another podcast, but I remember hearing that story specifically.
Yeah, would you recommend both of them?
Yeah, but
Okay, good.
I would recommend any murder podcast.
I did start. Do you know what time it is? Anyone? On another note, same note, I started listening to this one podcast, just one episode. I couldn't even get like 30 minutes into it because the girl refused to swear, and I get it, like right,
Yeah.
like you have your sponsors and stuff. But instead of just like not saying like the F word, she would say, "What the fork?" But she'd say it like super preppy, and it drove me nuts. And it was like every minute she'd be like what the fuck? And I was like, I can't do this.
Could you watch The Good Place? Because that's exactly what they do in that.
My sister watched that show. I couldn't watch it.
Because of that very reason?
It just pisses me off.
Why does it piss you? Why? Good Place pisses her off.
It's a really good show.
It is a good show.
I just
never
don't
seen
like
it.
the what the fork. Like it drives
It's not.
me.
It's rarely ever in there.
Okay, well in this podcast it was like every 3 minutes. Like instead of just not swearing, it was like
We're swearing.
Is
all
it
the
just
time.
distracting or something?
It was. It'd be you know, she'd talk about like, oh my god, he did this super fuck up the thing. And then she'd be like what the fuck? And I'm like, please stop.
That is annoying.
It just, I didn't
Yeah.
it was I was like, you don't have to swear.
Yeah, see, this is my opinion on swearing. I think that people who decide what is allowed and what's not, like this is acceptable to society. This is what being polite is. This is the standards you should follow. I think it's complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's like some people will go out and they'll think that they're better than you because they don't swear, but then they'll swear all the time.
Yeah.
But like the biggest part of that is like, I look at swearing as a sentence enhancer, but also it's just your true inside coming out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You could always tell when someone's fake swearing, like when they're just going, fuck, like that, and F this, and F that, and F this, and F that. Like you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 6th grade me was real good at that.
Yeah. But like when it's like this fluidity where it comes out of your mouth and it's just part of the sentence and you don't cringe at it and you freak, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing more honest than that. I trust things that swear more than people who don't.
I see that, yeah.
It's honest.
Yeah.
I called my 4th grade boyfriend a whore because I didn't know what it meant, and we broke up on the bus.
Dude,
Wow.
not knowing what words
And
mean.
he called me a whore, and I
Is that a
tattled
red
on
flag?
him.
Is that a red flag? Not knowing words mean. I used to think that I was watching this show called Charlie Bartlett, the movie. You ever seen that? Mm-hmm. Well, there's a thing where they mentioned porn, and I was young, so when I heard porn, I thought of form. Oh, he has to do something with his taxes. I went for a long time thinking that porn had to do something with taxes. And
It does.
if you're in,
Technically, yeah, it can.
and I
People
thought,
get off to that? Like, that's just boring.
Texas.
like, oh,
Tax write-offs.
someone was like, I was just
Tax
like,
evasion.
oh, I love watching porn. And I'm just like, well, I'm like, it's like, wow. The
You're
American
really
tax
into
system.
subsidiaries.
Yeah,
Like,
great. Maybe. Wow, this is good. Maybe I should. Mom, can I watch some porn,
Mom.
please? Mom, you do porn every year, right? Right? You know we have that yearly porn, like
Yeah.
taxes. God.
This is rough.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm a fan of. I don't know your mom, but like mom and porn in the same sentence is just a little rough.
Well, I said that because it's a joke because they do
It's
taxes.
Oh
funny,
yeah,
though,
because like
yeah.
who else would you hear about talk about taxes except for like your parents?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Because our schools never taught us that.
Which they totally should.
I still don't know how to
It's
do taxes.
ridiculous.
Some people are so, like, just stuck on the idea like your parents should teach you. It's like, I go to school to learn how to survive in the world. You taught me not only things I didn't need to know, but lies. You told me Christopher Columbus met Native Americans.
Baby pill.
Baby pill.
Baby pill.
I don't
But
have
you said that you said Christopher Columbus went and met with Native Americans. They had a nice little turkey dinner and it was over. That's not what happened.
he killed him, Mom.
He killed him. Mom,
He gave him poison blankets and he killed him.
Mom, you told me that the tooth fairy was real. I seen you come in my room last night. You smacked me too. We're gonna talk about that.
That's not the tooth fairy. That's Uncle Steve with a knife. I don't like it. I don't want him to come back either.
Why did he punch me and said we're gonna get another out? But no, that's the thing.
Take $1, whore.
He's like, I'm I took the time to come over here, kid. We're getting more than one tooth.
Selling these teeth on the fucking black market.
I guarantee every single one of you have done something that you're not gonna tell anyone about. Every single one of you.
Yeah.
You're thinking about that thing right now. Right now, it's in your head. You're thinking about it. You're imagining it, and you're like, oh, God. Or you're lying. You're like, no, I never thought of that. But you're lying again.
Yeah. Be true to yourself.
Be true to
Come on, man.
yourself. Be
We're teaching love here.
Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Don't let people walk on you, but also don't interpret people walking on you in every instance. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just be random, be rambunctious, and ramble.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful stuff. Perfect.